a triangular pyramid sits on top of a triangular right prism. The prism has a height of h. Find the height of the pyramid in terms of h so that the prism and the pyramid have the same volume. So you should really know these formulas. They're in the IGCSE anyway. But the volume of a prism, V equals AH, where A is the constant cross section that goes through the shape. H is classed as the height, but basically it's the distance that cross section goes through the shape. V, the volume of a right pyramid, volume equals a third times base area times height. So anything that kind of goes up to a point at the top and has a flat base, like a cone, for example, the volume is a third times the base area times the height. So if I try and draw this, triangular right prism means it's like a prism and the cross section is a right angled triangle. So if I sort of try and draw some kind of right angled triangle like that, maybe, and probably have to tell you it's a right angle, it's not the best picture. So then that needs to sort of go through, and we're actually going to bring it this way. Something like that. Make sure your lines are parallel and then up. So there's our prism. The triangle is going to have some kind of cross-sectional area A. Remember, that goes all the way through the shape, so we'll just say that's got an area of A, and we have been told that the height is H. Okay, so then we've got this pyramid sitting on top of it, so that means that it goes up to a point, so probably somewhere here, and just all the sides go up to that point. So 1, 2, 3. So it's maybe not that easy to visualize, but it's supposed to be 3 identical right-angled triangular faces. Right, so we don't know this height, but we do know that they have exactly the same volume. So we could maybe call this sort of big H or something like that. You could call it Y, you could call it X, you could call it anything really. But basically now we need to form an equation. When it says same volume, that means volume of one shape equals the volume of other shapes. So we just write them out using the formulas, using the diagrams. So basically volume of prism equals volume of pyramid. So vol prism equals vol pyramid. Then you need to turn those into expressions. So the volume of the prism is just AH, cross-sectional area times H, height. So AH equals volume of a pyramid is a third of the base area times height. And if you look at the way they're drawn, and because it says it sits on top, that's why they do share it. They have this big A in common. So the top, or this cross section, is the base of the pyramid. It's exactly the same shape, no gaps. So it equals 1/3 times A times big H, so the height of the pyramid. So then we just need to solve for big H. We're going to just multiply everything by 3, and actually we can divide through by A as well. So if we just multiply by 3, that would say 3 little h equals big H, which means the height of the pyramid in terms of h is 3h. So it has to be 3 times as high as the height of the prism in order to have exactly the same volume in this layout where it's sitting on top of it with no gaps. So just finish it off. Height of pyramid equals 3h.